Hello traders, today is October 10th, 2024. I'm going to go over 10 different names. As per usual, I want to remind you this is educational content. If you are thinking about making any kind of investments, please make sure to do your own due diligence and research before you invest your money. That being said, let's start with AFRM. And I've been mentioning AFRM for, well, quite often actually lately. Is still playing the way we were anticipating, which is being or entering into range between 40 to 50 and 40. Now, one of the things that I'm noticing is, and we might be forming a, do I have this in my favorites? No. Let's see. Looks like we are forming a head and shoulders pattern. And I'm just gonna, so we have this here. And yeah, looks like we might be getting that, maybe for now. We'll see what happens as far as price action and what is the behavior that the stock is going to continue having. Right now, I'm not too worried about this pattern in particular. I'm just putting these waves right here or curves right here just in case. But I think if we continue going towards 40 and then maybe break that level, break the 35 SMA and then continue going, we're probably going to hit 35, which was also something that I mentioned. By the way, while we were here and looking at all these extensions right here, what I was saying is that we were going to start filling the gap, which actually happened partially. And but my thesis was, and we're probably going to go all the way down to 32 or 33. That actually didn't happen. We had a perfect rebound on this support level at 35, and then we had another rally towards 47, almost 48. Yeah, and then we are coming back down. Now, the optimal move, as I said before, would be to continue in this range and then catching some buying momentum again and continue going up. But I think if we break the 40 or 39.3, we are definitely going towards 35, and then in this area you have very low liquidity, which might actually take you down towards the initial thesis that I had, which was the gap fill. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye on this name. Today, if we go to a different time frame, it was kind of choppy. Sold off, came back up, same thing again. So not the prettiest chart on the 5-minute. And but for now, let's just hope just to stay on this range. But I think if we break 40, we're definitely gonna go down towards 32 or 33. That's what I think, at least for now. Now let's move on to an interesting name today, and that is AMD. So AMD had a AI day, and it seems like the market didn't like it. What is what the market didn't like? Well, what is really happening here is, realistically speaking, what we saw today with the products that AMD are offering is nothing but good for NVIDIA. I think it shows how ahead of the competition NVIDIA is. And second in line after NVIDIA, in my opinion, is AMD. Now, what happens is that NVIDIA is a whole generation of chips ahead of AMD. Now, that being said, I'm not absolutely bearish on AMD. I do think that AMD is proving a great bullish case for NVIDIA. But also, what I also think is that AMD still has a great potential to continue doing great, I guess, as a second runner in this industry. Another problem that they had today during the event was the time frame that they have to go in production of their products, which seems to be a little bit too long for what the market wanted. Anyways, what we're seeing here on the technical, we went down at one point over 5%. I think it was 5.2% or something at the lowest. And as you can see, This right here is a 200 SMA working perfectly in this case, as it did before in other occasions. Now, if we break this level tomorrow, I think we're gonna go down towards 150. Forget about this 35 SMA, forget about this trend line. I think we're going straight to 151. That's what I think. But something that happened towards the end of the trading session is that you had some buyers coming in right on the support level. They you had some buying pressure, and then seems to be a little bit consistent on aftermarket, which I really don't care much about aftermarket. I care more about pre-market and aftermarket. Anyways, for now, we'll see if we are going to retest this level. It is very possible. I mean, so far, based upon what we are seeing on this candle, that's exactly what happened. And let's see if we're going to continue moving up. Again, I don't think that AMD has a bad product or anything like that. It's just behind, as everybody else, behind NVIDIA. Again, this actually gives you a great case to be bullish on NVIDIA. I think, but I think that every Michael Jordan needs Scottie Pippen, and that is the case on NVIDIA and AMD. AMD is still a great product. It has great management. I think it has a lot of great things coming ahead, but again, it's just behind. Now, some of the products that they manufacture are also very usable in the industry. So I don't think that this is the end of the world. Another thing that I believe here is there was an overreaction of the market as per usual, and this is what we're seeing right now. Keep an eye on this level right here, 161. Again, if there is any momentum to the downside, you are going to rally towards 151, period. But we could also be retesting the 200 SMA and retesting this level, 161, and then maybe continue going up towards 169 or 170. We'll see what happens there, but definitely looks weak. MACD and TSI don't look good at all. RSI also doesn't look good. So food for thought on that. Volume to the downside is also pretty heavy. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to define the direction of this name for the next week or two. That's what I have for AMD. Let's take a look at, where are you? Amazon. And I mentioned Amazon yesterday, I believe. Yes, I did. So one thing that I said about Amazon was that my rebound or retest level was 181. We actually went down to 180, right? So 181, we moved up, bounced on the 35 SMA, and now we are on our way towards 190. I think it's very possible that within the next week or so, we're gonna go at least try to mount 190. There is a little bit of momentum coming in. MACD, TSI are not looking bad at all. RSI is already pointing up. That's a good thing. You kind of have this little double bottom right here. Interesting. Doesn't mean much, but Amazon is looking good in my opinion. I like the fact that it's moving slowly up. The sell off towards 160, 181 wasn't too dramatic, so I like what I'm seeing here so far. Amazon is looking good to the upside. Your support level is 181 and your resistance level is 190 for now. We'll see what happens tomorrow and next week. PPI tomorrow, by the way. Anyways, let's take a look at ASTS, and we have a quite obvious pattern right here. Most of the times, this is a bearish pattern. This is a descending triangle. There is definitely momentum to the downside, but we also have a very solid support level right here, which could also work on a direction to the I guess, give us possibilities to move to the upside. That's why I put these two arrows here. For now, I would wait to see what happens on the support level, which is 21.3. I think if we break that, we're gonna continue going down. I don't have any lower level yet. I just want to see what is gonna happen here, and then maybe make some decisions about what would be my opinion on this stock. Another thing that I like about this stock or company is, the fact that, considering in the industry they are, and the product that they are trying to launch and make work, I guess, on a scale, I do believe that any good catalyst would bring this up in a very violent fashion. And you have seen that from basically this area right here on this quarter of, this was on May of this year, and then it rallied all the way till, what was it, July? Let's take a look. Yeah, mid-August actually. So again, it's worth keeping an eye on this name. I like what they are planning to do. I like the fact that they have contracts with AT&T and Verizon and whatnot, and they're partnering with SpaceX. So they're doing the right things, but still, they still have to prove what, the satellites that they want to launch. So still a long way ahead. Just keep an eye on this level, 21.27. If we break this trend line, I think we're going to move towards 127. But for now, it's more critical to keep an eye on 21.20, 21.3. That's what I have for ASTS. And now let's move on to keeping an eye on. Let's talk about Bitcoin. And if we go to the 5-minute, you can see what happened here around this Pacific time, 9:05, 9 a.m. Went down for a while until probably 11 for 2 hours straight. It was dumping. Then it actually came back. So you had this reaction right here, but buyers came back in. What I've been telling you about Bitcoin, I'm not interested in anything to the upside or any other, company that is susceptible to Bitcoin reactions. I'm not bullish at all until you go over the 200 SMA. I've been telling you that since this area right here. I think if you continue going towards or under 59, we're going straight to 57. I don't think that will stop. If you bring 57, there is no 54 in my opinion. There's nothing until 52. So at least for now, your critical level is 59.7. If we go under that with this type of momentum, continuous momentum, this was pretty dramatic though, we are probably gonna meet with 57. If not, if buyers come in, which doesn't look like it, then you can argue that you want to break the 200 SMA to actually have any hope to go towards 67. I mean, for now, I'm a little bit bearish on Bitcoin. We are, the MACD and the TSI are looking bearish, are about to cross the zero line. In both cases, the RSI is already down and pointing down. So a little bit bearish so far. Maybe we can argue that we have a resistance level on the 325 SMA, but in my opinion, we're going down straight to 57 if we break this level right here. So this level right here, 59.7, is critical. Let's move on to another name that I mentioned yesterday, and that is Celsius. So keep an eye on what I said yesterday. So if you want to go back to that video, please do so. But what I said was that, I wasn't celebrating anything based upon the move, yesterday's move, which was 6 point something percent. After hours, you were up 2 something percent. And then today you had a pretty nice day of 14%. And how is it looking after hours? Now you are after hours 1.6%. Okay, great. So I think my concern on Celsius was how it's been behaving from this area right here up in the 60s. And then you have all this going down. But we finally got a day with a lot of momentum. We haven't seen that in a long time. So we had a 14% day. It's continued to move after hours, and we will see what happens tomorrow. I was saying that I'm not going to get bullish until we break 35. We're basically there. We're almost there. We're on top of the 35 SMA, which is this line right here. I just want to see this resistance level broken, and then I can get bullish. There's not a lot of liquidity, as you can see. There's really very little liquidity here. So I think that if this starts moving, it's really going to move. Now, it would be fantastic, however, to see a little bit of a rejection here tomorrow, maybe a 2% drop, and then on Monday a continuation. So this indicator, especially the RSI, chills for a little bit. Other than that, I think that if we break 35.5, we are gonna move. We're gonna move fast. There's low liquidity, so this is a name that now has to go back into your watch list. I've been waiting for this moment, and I'm not saying we're there, but I've been waiting to see a reaction from Celsius for quite a while. As you remember, in May, I was shorting Celsius somewhere in this area when I saw this double top. I did take full advantage of this candle, and then I got out somewhere around here, thinking, well, that's the rest of the move. I'm taking, my profits, and then I'm out. Little that I knew it was going to dump all the way to basically 27. Anyways, I do believe again that we might see a very dramatic move to the upside, or we could also see a move like this, bleeding, or in this case it was bleeding, but then a gaining move that goes towards, maybe, I don't know, I don't have a price target, but maybe go towards 45 or something. But for now, I want to see momentum breaking 35.5 with a little bit of momentum, and then I will probably position myself into this name. But Celsius is looking, at least for now, it's looking better than it has in a while. Let's take a look at some of these candles. And this was 8%. Yeah. So how much volume? 30 million. Okay, that's what I have for Celsius. Let's see how we break 35.5, if we do it tomorrow or not, if we're consolidating here, if we're gonna get rejected. Tomorrow is critical in my opinion. Another name, and I think I'm gonna brag a little bit on this one. I mentioned this quite a few times this week, and that is CrowdStrike. And look where we are. Today was up 5.5%. I was telling you about this name on Monday the 30th. I've done quite a few videos mentioning CrowdStrike and this move. You're breaking this pattern, you're going over resistance at 280, and now we're here. We are at 314. Gee, the only thing that I was saying that it wasn't even negative was that the contracts were a little bit expensive. We are going over this 200 SMA with a lot of volume and momentum, more than volume, with a lot of momentum. You are entering an area that has very low liquidity all the way up to 360 basically. So I think we're gonna fill this gap. We'll see what kind of reaction we get tomorrow. Yeah, you had a 5.5% day today. MACD and TSI are not extended at all. RSI is gonna be a little bit overbought by tomorrow if we continue going green, but I think that's fine. But this gap is probably gonna fill either tomorrow or sometime next week. So there was a very good opportunity here that I was calling from September 30th. And please go back to those videos. The names are on every single videos. Unfortunately, I didn't post anything on X about this name. I have no idea why. I've been pretty busy lately, so I've been focused on other things, but I'm trying to do this as well as much as I can. But anyways, this move was fantastic. If you caught any of this, within your trading, I'm super happy for you. But again, I do believe that there's still continuation here. Would be nice, maybe a little red candle here that retests the 200 SMA and then we launch back up. But again, there's low liquidity here. This is looking fantastic. It's been looking good for a while, for about 10 days already. So here we are. Well, let's move on. That is, next one is Google. And I just want to take a note. We're still, what I said yesterday, did I mention Google yesterday? No, I mentioned Google the day before. I'm surprised I didn't mention Google yesterday. Okay, anyways, we're still bouncing on the 200 SMA. That is a good thing. Today we were, let's go to the 5-minute chart. It was pretty nice up until you got to this support level. Levels really work, man. Look at this. And then you got rejected. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I think PPI is gonna come. It's gonna be similar to CPI. So we'll see how the market is going to react. And you also have, I believe, that which I don't know why this has so much influence, honestly. The Michigan consumer expectations. Okay, but yeah, we do have core PPI. We do have PPI at 5:30 Pacific time, so 1 hour before opening. Anyways, we have to break this resistance level at 164 to see a continuation. There's a volume shelf right here, so it's gonna find a little bit of resistance and then continue going towards 170. I think if we get rejected here, it could happen. We are going straight to 157, and we'll see. My range right now is 157 to 170. This level right here is critical. You're bouncing on the 35 SMA, you're bouncing on the 200 SMA. That's a good sign. MACD and TSI are kind of neutral on the bearish side, I would say. You have a little bit of volume, but not enough. So I think at this point it's a coin toss. If the only thing that I see difficulties here is volume, and you really have to come in with more volume to go over this volume shelf right here. So you need buyers really stepping in and then going towards this. If there is any news with the Department of Justice or whatever coming after Google by tomorrow or next week, I think we're going straight to 157, and then we can reassess. You break 157 and you better hope that the 325 is gonna actually be a good resistance level. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, my range is 157 to 170. This level right here, 164, is critical to be broken, or for, in any case, a rejection that would take us towards 157. Let's move on to another name that didn't look too pretty today, and I've been covering lately, and that is, if I can find it, HIMS. And it actually was down almost 6%, I would say, but it closed at 4.7% today, minus 4.7%. Let's go to the 5-minute chart, and you had a massive sell-off. The 1 minute is probably gonna show this better. Selling off in the beginning of the trading day, and then you came back, and then it got choppy and horrible the rest of the day, which is fine. What I was saying yesterday about this, go back to that video if you want to. We had a gap right here. What I said before is, when we got this gap right here, when I said even on Monday of this week, wasn't we're gonna probably fill this gap, and and we're probably gonna go down to 1726. I wouldn't be surprised with that, but that's actually, in my opinion, good. Now you don't want to break this level, this support level at 1726, because that means, and sellers are probably coming in, and then you have your next resistance level at the 35 SMA. But for now, I think that we might actually continue going down towards 1726, maybe. For sure, it happened what I was mentioning, that we were gonna fill this gap that we had here. So go to Monday's video, or whenever I was talking about HIMS, and there was a gap right here. So my kid is screaming in the background. But this gap got filled. Now would be nice to see a move to the upside towards 1873 or 18.7. Anyways, still looking good. I still like HIMS. After hours is up 2% already, so this is playing out very nicely. I did buy some calls 2 days ago, I believe. It wasn't, it was yesterday actually when I bought some, and so I think this is going to continue moving towards 18.7, and then 21.7 or 21.8 in this case is my price target short term. MACD and TSI, for now, I would say, are looking a little bit bearish, but that is fine. I mean, they were looking bearish on this area too, even more scary in this area. But now I think I welcome this kind of reactions in which you have a little bit of red, but it's not anything outrageous, and then you have a comeback. Now you're having a comeback after hours, which is also good news. That is welcome. Earnings are coming on November, so there is some time, November 4th. and that is in about 25 days. Anyways, that's what I have for HIMS. It's still looking good. And then I'm gonna show you another name that I mentioned yesterday for sure. And let me see my notes. I made actually a short video. So go back to my shorts and take a look at this. And that is snow. So let me take a note on this. Okay, so this is one of the patterns that is, I wouldn't say easy to trade, but it gets a little bit predictable. So you were on range since August 23rd till basically yesterday. And then you broke this level. And I think that's what I said yesterday. Now you're moving up with a lot of momentum. You did close today at 3.4%. That is pretty decent. I do believe that this name has more potential to continue going up and fill the gap, this gap right here. But yeah, I told you this. I think it was on my shorts were the equivalent of this candle. My shorts were on, I posted on Saturday and Sunday. So take a look at them. And then I also mentioned snow yesterday. So you broke the 35 SMA yesterday. That was very positive. And then today you had another great day. So between yesterday and today, you're up 9%. That's beautiful. I do believe that even if you have a little bit of red in this area, you're going to end up filling this gap. You don't have earnings coming until end of November, so we can get that out of the way. Now, for the market in general, we're still having data that could ruin the party. CPI wasn't the best. I think the macro side of the economy is not looking good at all, but short term, we might still continue seeing some upside. We have an election coming, as you all know, and I would be very surprised to have the government ruin or allow the economy to really show what is going on, at least until the election. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys. Again, it's not looking good. I told you yesterday the same. I told you crowd strike. I told you about HIMS. I told you about Amazon at 181. Anyways, follow the channel, subscribe, like. I would really appreciate it, and also comment if you have any names that you would like me to go over. I'm more than happy to help you out and maybe post some charts that might be helpful for you. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Thank you. Bye bye.